What's up, people? I'm back. Fred White, Tales from the Pen. If you're new to the channel, go down and hit that subscribe button, click the bell, and then click that all notification. So anytime I put up a video, you will know about it. Today, I got a special guest, you know, my boy. We was up in the mountains together, you know. He's CEO, Rackateerin Inc., author, screenwriter, director, filmaker. Bro, you got so many hats. You know what I'm saying? My boy Todd Lucky Johnson. I know him as Luck. What's good, man? I'm happy to have you here, man. How you doing, bro?
Thank you for having me, boss. I'm good, man. Good seeing you, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
It's been a minute, but you know, so it's all good.
It's all love. You know, that's why I try to explain to people sometimes, like when you have that certain bond with people, it don't matter if you don't see them forever. Like it's all love. Anytime you see them, that's just the way it goes.
No doubt.
You know, when you've been through the same struggles and stuff.
I mean, real respect, real, man. Real recognize real. You know how it goes.
Always, you know, and it don't get much more realer than Clinton Yard. You know what I'm saying? So
talk about it.
You know what I mean? I try to tell these kids, because I just put up one about Clinton. I try to tell these kids like about even the weight courts in Clinton, like, you can't just come and just think like you just gonna come lift the weight on a court and click.
No,
like,
you gotta get permission, man. Somebody got to vouch for you. Yeah.
Somebody got to vouch for you. Somebody got to say he's good. You know what I'm saying?
And when and what that mean is when you say he's good, that mean that everything is good about him. It ain't no, you know, background story that ain't right. And you know, because you wouldn't be on that court.
And wouldn't be on the court. And there's only like 6 of them, so it's only a few people touching them weights. But you know,
stand up dudes.
Stand up. You know what I mean? Me and Luck was on that, but you know, we ain't gonna talk about all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We was on the weight courts playing them basketball games. You know what I mean? It was crazy up in them yards. And this is and again, you know, we may be seeing like we joking and laughing, but you know, you guys know my mom.
I mean, you know, it's reminiscent, man. You know, even though we was in the trenches and those were some real horrible times. Like I said, real respect, real recognize real. That goes a long way because we was around dudes that made the news. You know what I'm saying? Like, like mafia members and all kind of type of different kind of people from all walks of life. So just to be able to survive in that environment, you know, you had to be a special kind of dude. You understand what I'm saying? Because you saw how it was going in down there on the regular. You know what I mean? So, like I said, man, you know, it's just good to be here. It ain't like we glorifying that, but
that's right.
You know, it's in our experience.
That's right. You know, I wanted to bring you on because, you know, and that's the thing about this, the internet too, man. This Facebook, they connected us. I saw you on Jobs. I'm like, yo, look, oh shit, boom, and here we are together, right? So Facebook, but I wanted to bring you on because, you know, I've seen the positive movement you got going on, man, and that's what I'm about. Like, I'm about promoting positivity. Like, anybody that's been on my channel has no negative-ish things going on in their life. Most of the people that I interview have positive things going on, and that's why I wanted to bring you on, man. So why don't you let the people know, man, like where you from, a little bit about your background, and talk to me.
Copy. Yeah, my name's Todd Lucky Johnson, aka Luck billz, aka Colleen. I'm from Mount Vernon, New York. You know what I mean? It's a small town that's bordered by Yonkers, the Bronx, and North Shell on different sides.
AKA money earning.
Money earning Mount Vernon.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a small town, man, but a lot of people came from out of there, man.
Right.
Street level and entertainment wise. So you know, growing up, I'm a 70s baby. You know what I mean? I'm a 73 dude. So you know, my 70s was, I'm not too far removed from the civil rights era and, you know, the Panthers and all those movements that was about freedom, justice, equality and all that. But my era is, you know, pretty much the hip hop and the Reaganomics era. That's the era I came up in. You know what I mean?
So, AKA the crack era for those
AKA the crack era. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just coming up in that time, this is when hip hop became a prevalent and integral part of our culture. And you know, during that time, and I was just growing up, finding my way like everybody else. And you know, I mentioned hip hop because, you know, Mount Vernon is real close to the Bronx. So that's like a cousin, you know what I mean, to us. And when I was introduced to hip hop, it came from people that was visiting, cousins and relatives. So growing up in that, it's just that's that's the environment that was happening. And then, like I said, the crack era, Reaganomics, it just shaped and shifted a whole new generation.
It did. And you know, a lot of people don't understand about that crack era, man. It was a different.
Oh, that was real.
It was very real. You know what I mean?
People
like,
still recovering from that shit.
Still recovering, man. You know, so let me ask, because I know you was young, and I know you was young when you was rapping. I know you rap a little.
Right.
That's where you started. That's where your home base was, the rapping thing. And you know, I know you basically like came, like what year, like when did you come out? Not the year, like when did you come out the house? Like, okay, this is what's going on.
Oh man, to be honest and not exaggerate, man, I came out the house early, man. I came out the house like 5 years old, but I wasn't out the house doing grownish things.
Right now they're fine.
You know, the environment was different. It took a village to raise a child in. So even though I was 5 and I was around my neighborhood, it was a different time. So if I'm on somebody else's block and I'm smoking a cigarette or I'm cussing, you know, people had permission to whoop my ass. That was my mom's friends. That was just people in the neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yes. Hell yeah.
I say I came out the house early. I came out the house around 5 because my mom's is 15 years my senior. She had me when she was 15. So, you know, she just gave me freedom as a child. And like I said, it was a different environment. It ain't like today where you let a 5-year-old just run up and down the block to the corner store and all that. It was totally different.
Different time.
So fast forward though, I came out the house around 11, you know what I mean? Far as being in the street, hustling and just trying to figure it out, because, you know, my moms and my step pops, man, they got caught up in the crack addiction. Okay. And I was in 6th grade, man. You know what I mean? I didn't know what was going on. I'm the only child. So me growing up, I had everything I ever wanted. And when that crack kicked in my household, it was like, you know, I wasn't getting them sneakers no more. I wasn't getting that wardrobe. I wasn't going to school fly every day. So, you know, as soon as I stepped out my building, it was right there. And, you know, I gravitated to that because, you know, that's what young kids do. We gravitate to role models. We gravitate to things that attract us. We don't gravitate to the positivity. You know what I'm saying? Right. We don't gravitate to the church man or to the, you know, the working class man. We gravitate to that dude who got that Beamer. You know what I mean? That dude that got all that jewelry on, the dude who got, you know what I'm saying, a lot of females. Right. And yeah, 11 years old, boss.
Damn, Luck, that's crazy, you know, but that's a story of a lot of people, man, coming out this house young. And you know what? The thing is that I heard you speak before about gravity and how it brings you down, right? Mm-hmm. I heard you speak about that before. And it's like, you know, being a product of your environment is something very real, right? If you don't have, as a young man, if you don't have that structure, if you don't have that even the positive male role models, like, you know, I always say this, you know, and salute to all the single moms, but it's tough to raise a boy, you know, especially when, you know, when you're young, you know what I mean?
Yeah. For a woman, yeah, definitely.
For a woman, you know.
A woman is not supposed to, that's not protocol, that's not right and exact for a woman to have to raise a male. But unfortunately and fortunately, they did the greatest job they could do.
Correct. That's correct. That's why I always shout out to single mothers, man, because, you know, I'm with my wife. We have 3 kids and, you know, just together, bro, it's like, it's tough, you know, and I think about the people who are alone with 2, 3 kids. And I'm just like, wow, that's just crazy. You know,
but you got to have that balance, man. That's a beautiful thing because, you know, your son or your daughters need to see mommy loving daddy and daddy loving mommy. You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to be off balance where a woman is teaching a male boy how to be a male boy, a man. Correct. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of kids, a lot of boys, when they grow up, I remember I had this problem. Not this problem, but I remember this was going on with me. I took custody of my son. And when I took custody of him, you know, I realized that he was young. He was like 4 or 5, you know what I mean? Coming to visit me at first, you know what I'm saying? Just every weekend I would get him and bring him. And I noticed he was peeing sitting down, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, yo, that's not how you do that. But in my mind, I'm like, you supposed to know that, but he's around women are raising him. So he would see them go to the bathroom and sit down and pee. So he thought that was, so I had to teach him. So that's what I mean by a woman can't really raise, you know, a man.
No, I'm firmly on board with that too. Not saying that it don't happen and there are exceptions. We understand that. But in the overall aspect of it, and if we're gonna talk statistics or something, it's you're gonna get lost. Sometimes these kids get lost in their streets, and what happens is they, like you said, well, they start following these false idols. You know what I mean? They start following these people that really are just gonna lead them.
They looking for that role model. They looking for that dad figure. That's why they gravitate to the guy who got the respect, because that's what they see as a badge of honor, and they missing that in the household. So when they see that on the street, like I said, you got a lot of people in the neighborhood that every day get up and go to work early in the morning type guys that was living the positive way of life, but that's not who when you growing up and as a kid, you see that other person that got that respect, and you gravitate to him more than you do the regular average Joe.
Correct. Correct. Okay, so let's go on to like when did you start doing like bids, or did you do bids like a DFY bids, or you just? Oh man, right. That's what I'm saying. I wanted to. Yeah, I know that. I know some of the questions already. I'm just.
It ain't even that. It's just that what's crazy is that all our stories are similar. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like my story is not unique. You know what I mean? Even though there was a point in time where I was like, damn, like I've been doing this shit all my life. Like I'm different. But when you start meeting people that walk the same ways of life, you like, damn, you was in DFY too at 13, and you was in Harlem Valley, you was in Tryon, you was
Goshen, Tryon, right.
So my journey started, like I said, I came out the house at 11, man, and I just thought, I got hit with that first package, man, holding it, just trying to figure out what was going on in my world, and then I started becoming my own boss and making my own moves, and at that time when crack was prevalent, also them guns came into play too. You know what I mean? It's like, it was like a dual situation at the same time. So you got young kids that's getting all this money for the first time, and I don't know when, and you got to maintain that power and so a lot of us was put in certain situations where we had to protect our assets, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I got caught up in. I got caught up in playing with the hammers at an early age. And it landed me in group homes. I dropped out I didn't even drop out. I got taken out of school in 8th grade. So I never went to high school. All that stuff happened in facilities. You know what I'm saying? I got my GED early. I actually got my GED when I was supposed to actually graduate, but I got it in prison. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I went away at 13. I caught my first bid at 13. Okay. And I just was moving around the system, man. Pius 12, all these different facilities, man, where, and it was a lot of frustration and a lot of anger because I didn't understand why my life was going this way. You know what I mean? I felt that I had a lot of people to blame, but really in all reality, I was by myself in a whole different type of world. You dig what I'm saying?
Whole different world.
Whole different world, man. So that's where it started. My first bid was at 13, man.
Damn. What about state bid? What's your first state bid?
My first state bid was 90. I was 17 years old. I caught a 2 to 6.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
This was the first time that I had to really DFY prepare you for that type of shit.
Yeah,
but,
it
prepare you for that warrior shit. But at the same time, jail is not designed to make you stronger. Prison is not designed to rehabilitate you. It's designed to really break your spirit. So if you don't go in there with the right mindset, or you got to figure it out, you really just wilding. Your mentality is like, I got to survive. You know what I'm saying? Or you become prey, or you prey upon. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean that in a sexual way or anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just of course. I found myself, I'm 17 years old. I'm in Moravia, New York. That's Cayuga. That's like 2 miles away from Canada. You know what I'm saying?
And Cayuga was wild.
I'm not getting no visits because I'm 17 years old. I really didn't. I had girls, but I didn't have a strong relationship with a female that was able to take them trips with me, to come up to visit me and stuff like that. So I wasn't getting no visits. And my parent, at the time, she was addicted to drugs. So I had to figure it out, man. I had to figure out where I was getting my army coat from. You know what I'm saying? Where I was getting my Timbs from. So, you know, just again, taking what I needed.
Right.
And it caused a lot of problems, but at the same time, not trying to glorify this, that's how I got my name.
Right. Nah, I get it. I get it. You know, but this is why I want these kids to understand that there's old Lucks out there now. You know what I'm saying? There's people with these same mentalities, because you said that too when you said that, you know, that you realize that a lot of people have walked your same path. And there's still a lot behind you, still like at the beginning stages, about to do the same thing.
Right.
You understand? That's why I like your story, because, you know, I always say people with experience, like they can see they know what's gonna happen. They know. So these are the people you gotta listen to. They've been around the corner. They've been around the corner. Now they're coming back.
Right.
And listen, they're telling you, don't go around this corner. Don't do it. And a lot of people aren't listening because, you know, the streets get, once you get hooked up in the streets, and I always say this now, tell me what you think about this, right? I always say that when you really get money, like when you get hooked in these streets, right? Like the only way out, which is, you know, we're going to get to your story, you know, the end of why you got out too, but the only way out is for something negative to happen. And so unless something negative or bad really happens in your life, you're never going to get out that lifestyle.
Facts.
Right. And then you're going to go to jail. And like you said about the rehabilitate, you can't they don't rehabilitate you.
Right.
You either become a better criminal, a better criminal, right? Because you meet the plug, you meet all types of dudes, or you decide yourself that you want to rehabilitate yourself.
Facts.
Which is moving on to the next bit, like when I met you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it was different, you know, it was what, 99, it was like 99, 2000 around there. You know
right. It was the 90s, because I got this Clinton in 95.
Okay.
So I met you around
99.
Okay. 99, 98, something around that time.
Yeah. So, you know, and that's the thing that, you know, that's why I like your story, man, you know, and I like what you're doing. And, you know, and for a lot of people that don't know, because I brought it up earlier about the author, director, screenwriter. Tell us a little bit about how you got into writing and how you started Rackateerin and how you wrote Influence and the series. And let's get a little bit, let's let them know, man. Let's let them know. It's not just about this jail thing.
So you did some homework, man. You're a true journalist.
Come on.
Yeah, nah, man. I always was a writer. You know what I'm saying?
Poetry. I know you poetry and stuff.
Yeah, poetry in school. And the crazy thing is, I was a class clown, man, because I didn't, like I said, my mom was young. So, you know, I go to school to have fun and play. I was always on point. It's just that, I don't know, the shit might have been too easy for me. You know what I'm saying? And I just didn't know I didn't know where to target my energy at. I didn't know how to, you know, so at the end of the day, I remember it was times where the teacher recognized my potential. The teachers recognized my potential. I'm talking about 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. And they would make me get up in front of the classroom and read poetry. And I was embarrassed. But in all reality, it was good. It was good stuff. It's just that I felt like, that ain't cool. Me making y'all laugh and disrupting the class all day, that's cool. That's what's
fun. I get it.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where my talent started, as far as writing. When I got the DFY, I was in a group home with 2 of my friends, Ken Tex, my man, Jermaine Kirkland, and my cousin. Both of them is my cousins, but we like real close friends. It's a real bond. And we was all in this group home at the same time. And I remember we was just listening to EPMD and Big Daddy Kane and, you know, Rakim and KRS-One and G-Rap. And we was just like, yo, we could do that. You know what I'm saying? And we just put the pen down, and I penned my first rhyme in like maybe 1987. And that's when I started, you know, my music career as far as an artist or rapper or whatever.
Right.
The books came later on in life when I realized that I wrote wild albums in prison. You know what I mean? That's all I was doing. I never really got the opportunity to get signed because I was always in trouble. Like I was really, every time I came home, I was really living that life. You know what I'm saying?
You were a bad investment for them. They ain't trying
to. And people wanted to invest, but it was just like when it was time to go to the studio, I'm in Virginia. You know what I mean? I'm over here. I'm in Baltimore with these guys. We doing this, we doing that. And I didn't take it serious because I'm like, these dudes is rapping about what I'm doing. They supposed to be really doing what I'm doing. They're not supposed to be I thought that was corny. Again, it goes back to the poetry. When you realize you got a talent and a gift, I always thought that was the corny shit. Like the fly shit was the, you know, make people laugh. And later on in life, it was really show that I'm really real. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So fast forward, man. The book started in like 2007. I caught a violation. I had came home in 2003 from when we was together.
Okay.
Came home from 2003, and I was home for like 5 years, and I caught a violation. My last 3 months, caught a violation. I maxed out, and while I was in there, I wrote a book. I wrote Influence. Unfortunately, and subsequently, I came home, and I was only home for like 14 days, and I got hit up real bad. You know what I mean? Real bad.
4 times, right?
That was the game. I know you mentioned, you know, it's always a negative that kind of like stops the bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's death, sometimes it's prison, and sometimes it's just
for the people watching, because you know my people is literally worldwide. What you know, let them know what the hit up means. Let them, you know what I mean? Let them know.
I got shot up, man. I got shot real bad. I got hit 4 times. And you know, paralyzed. It paralyzed me in the beginning. And they said I'd never walk again. And it was mentally fucked up. It was spiritually, emotionally, physically, my world just changed. But the only thing I had to really keep me going was that book that I had wrote. You know what I mean? And I just got a laptop while I was in the hospital. I was in this hospital called Cola, and on Roosevelt Island.
Okay, yeah.
It was a rehabilitation center, and I was mad I was there because it was a bunch of old people. I'm in the home. I'm in the shop. It's like I'm in a what do you call them hospitals where it's old people and they get taken care and they got to.
Yeah, like a nursing home.
Nursing home.
Yeah, I know where it is. A big ass. I know exactly.
Yeah, so I'm in there and I'm like, I'm depressed because I'm like, I felt like I was in prison all over again. I felt like my body was in prison because I couldn't move the way I need to move. I'm in a wheelchair. I'm around people that is depressed. I'm around. So I just got a laptop, rewrote my book, put it in a joint, and published it, self-published it. And the people in the hospital saw what I was doing and they like, damn, you like really go hard. Like you the only person that get up out that wheelchair and try to walk with crutches and you try to do this and you wrote a book. Wow. So they helped me publish. They put up money to help me get my first 100 copies. And they bought 100 copies from me. You know what I'm saying? In the hospital. I'm talking about nurses. I'm talking about therapists. I'm talking about administrative workers that was just in there seeing my hustle and seeing my grind and just really seeing the spirit. Yeah. So that kind of got me out of depression and really got me back on my feet.
You know why? Because they believed in you maybe when you didn't believe in yourself. You see what I'm saying?
Nah, they saw me when I came in, right?
That's
they
what
saw
I mean.
how I met, like
they saw you were down. They saw, man.
They saw that. This is what they saw. I was young. I was like 34 when I got hit. I was 34 years old. So I'm looking youthful. My attitude was just like I was depressed, but I also was angry. So they was trying to figure out, yo, what's going on with this dude? What's wrong with him? Like, you know what I mean? And I just wasn't opening up to nobody. So when I finally opened up, they was like, wow, this is a real good dude, man. This is a real good person. And I inspired other people in there that was going through what I was going through. So it was just it was just something in, like you mentioned, man. Sometimes you got to go through that shit. Sometimes you got to go through hell to come out right. You know what I'm saying?
You have to. Sometimes
got to go through that. And that was my hell. And I've been through everything. I mean, we just had this conversation from the beginning. I've been through everything. Right. Everything you can imagine. I've been through it, done it, whatever have you. But that point, I feel like when I got shot up and how it turned out, I felt like that was the most high way of saying, this is the only way I could get through to you.
I gave you a bunch of I gave you a bunch of warnings.
I gave you these, I gave you stab, I gave you everything. You didn't listen, you didn't take heed to none of that. Now I gotta sit you down. And that was the game changer right there, man. That put me on the path of writing 4 books, web series, movies, all that.
We're gonna get in there, but you know, I went online and say, oh no, you know, I went on the Rackateerin and you know, my guy got a web series out. I'm gonna put all the links in the bottom, people.
No doubt.
Everything that you see, everything I'm talking about, we're gonna put it all in the description, you know, so people could just click on from the books to everything else. He got a series, you know, a Mr. called Mr. And now he just started a new one. I just seen the new one out last week, The Law.
Love and War, yeah, Law, Love and War.
Talk a little bit about that, man. Wait, before we do that, like how did the movie part come around? Right, you got the book. People believed in you, and sometimes that's the thing. That was the point I was trying to make before. Sometimes when people believe in you,
right,
it's like, oh shit, I can do this. Like as far as the books, I'm sure, like even just like reading books like Donald Goins and you know all the Iceberg Slims and all that. I know that, you know, but it also, you know, do you realize, man, I could do this myself. This is kind of like my life. I know the little things.
That's when I realized it. I realized it doing the violation. And
when people love your shit, it's different.
Yeah, nah, but the crazy shit is this, man. I'm in the joint, and while I'm in the joint, I'm reflecting on my life.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm tired. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 34, 33 or whatever have you. I'm like, yo, I'm just tired. I've been doing this shit too long. Here it is. Now, when you go through, here's the sad part. When you go through downstate, right? And you're a man now, you're mature, you grew up, you realize the police is just disrespectful. They talking to you crazy. You can't talk back, because if you talk back, they're gonna duff you out and embarrass you, give you a new charge, all that.
And blame you. Yeah, they're gonna fuck you up and then charge you that you did something.
Yeah, but they're gonna provoke these dudes. They're gonna provoke you. So I'm sitting in the bullpen now, mind you, I'm on a violation. I already did bids. I ain't new to this. Like I'm in there with dudes that got. I go in there with my 95 number, my 95A. So dudes is looking at me like, damn, you been, nah, man, I'm on a violation or whatever have you. I'm minding my business. I'm out the way, but I'm seeing how the police is just picking herbs. And I was like, yo, I can't never come back here again. This ain't me. It was never me, but this right here is definitely not me. So, like I said, when I wrote the book, I was writing the book I wanted to tell my life story. Mm-hmm. And as I'm writing the book every day. I read a couple of books. I think the book that really put me on my mission was Gangster by Kwame, a dude named Kwame. Okay. And I read his book, and I was like, damn, like he talk how I live. Like he telling the story like how I would want to tell a story. So I really started writing about my life, and I let this brother by the name of Tragedy Gaddafi. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Queensbridge. Shout out to Queensbridge. I don't want to put his business out there, but he just happened to be in downstate when I was in downstate. Right. Now he was right next door to me. Right. So you know how it is when you sell a cell. Yeah. You get cool. We spitting. You know, I'm rhyming to him. He's spitting to me, and I was like, yo, man, I'm about to write about my life. So I let him read. You know what I'm saying, some of the transcripts. Okay. And he was just like, yo, listen, check this out. He said, yo, you a dope writer. You're very talented, but you can't give this story out because nobody know you. And I was like, I'm thinking, homie, disrespecting me. Like, I'm like,
this is how I'm gonna get known by this.
Yeah, I'm known. I'm known. Everybody in my
love bills, money earning, man.
I love bills. I've been through it all. Everybody know me everywhere. So he like, nah, that's not what I mean. He said, listen, I'm Tragedy. I'm the intelligent hoodlum. Mm-hmm. I'm like the first young rapper from Queensbridge. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm the youngest dude out of the Juice Crew All Star. So he running it down, but he was like, I can't even tell my life story right now. He said, what you got to do is you got to create a buzz. You gotta give them something else before you tell that life story. And I was like, yo, that's deep. You know what I'm saying? Because I never really thought about it, looked at it that way. So what I did, I started writing a fictitious novel about myself. You know what I mean? It was just a fictitious story. You know what I mean? Some real gritty, stuff that I knew people would probably like if they read it. And I let him read it. And then the whole dorm that I was in, the whole building, whatever I was in, they read the joint, and then boom, I came home. When I came home, I was looking for that publisher, but I ain't know nothing about the book game. I'm a rap dude. You know what I mean? When I came home in 2003 from the bid, I popped the label. I popped Rackateerin Entertainment, the record label. That's what I grew up doing. Right. So when I came home for that time, trying to figure out the book world, the publisher shot me down. He was like, yo, you lawyered up? I was like, nah, I gotta have a lawyer to come. I mean,
I'm just thinking I'm gonna sign this shit and we gonna pop.
So he was like, yo, without no attorney, your book might be the dopest book, and we definitely would want to sign good talent, but without no attorney, So soon as he told me that, it was like a no. It was like a rejection. And I said, yo, I'm gonna go get this bread and fund my own joint. And in the process of that, like I said, I was home for like maybe 10 days. I'm going to my crib one night and they dumped on me and hit me up close range real bad.
Damn, yo, man, very sorry to hear that. Yeah, because when I seen that and I seen certain things, certain pictures, I was like, damn, man.
Right.
On the flip side of that, you rehabbed a lot in this story. Like you rehabbed your life. You know what I'm saying? Like you're strong, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I know you're strong, but like, from your story, from being out in the streets so early, from rehabbing your mindset to rehabbing your body after what you went through. You know what I'm saying? You've been through a lot of rehab, bro. You know
yeah, that's a fact. And mentally, even when we was in the yard, sometimes I just used to spin the yard dolo.
I know.
And people thought like I was a little weird, not in the sense of weird being like something was wrong or he mentally. It's just that they like, yo, he quiet. He always like, but that was just me trying to figure it out. Like I'm observing. I'm looking at everything. I'm upset. I'm sad. I'm mad. I'm hurt that my brothers is in this situation. I'm hurt that I'm in this situation. But again, coming home and you get that rejection and you get told no, you instantly resort back to what you know.
Right. Because right away, when you get that reject, you're like, damn, man, I got to do me now.
Yeah, it's like I know how to get it because they telling me I can't get it. I know how to get it. And that's what happened with the book situation. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I got shot up and then I went to the hospital and I started putting the books together. But when I put my first book, Influence, out, I still had that story about my life in the back of my mind. Cause I never really got a chance to I'm going off of what my homie told me, yo, get your name popping.
Right.
So I wrote 4 books after that. You know what I mean? I moved to Connecticut, lived in Connecticut, got custody of my son, started putting out books every year, yada, yada, yada. And then it came to a point where I was like, yo, I'm ready to tell that life story, but I don't want to put it in a book. I want to do it in film.
Okay.
Again, I didn't know nothing about film. I didn't go to school for film. I didn't know no filmmakers.
You had an idea though.
I just had an idea.
Yeah.
And I just went for it. I invested, I put my own money up, shot my first short film, then I did a documentary behind it. And while I was doing that, somebody came to me, one of my dudes, man. He's actually an actor in the Mr. Web series. His name is Daryl Jermaine. He was like, yo, listen, these guys in Brooklyn is doing the web series. You know what I mean? This is why we on set shooting the movie, shooting the film.
Right.
Like, these guys in Brooklyn they got a web series called Money and Violence, man. Need to check that out. I was like, nah, I don't want to check it out because I didn't want it to mess with my creativity. I didn't want to subconsciously steal from nobody and incorporate it in my work. So I was like,
or any parallels would just be coincidence because I ain't watch your shit.
Right. So yeah, I ain't even watched that.
Right.
But what happened was when he shot me the idea, he said, yo, here go that word again. Yo, you got to create a buzz, man. In order for this movie to pop, we got to create a buzz. So he was like, yo, think about that web series shit. Mind you, writing books and writing scripts is totally different for people that don't know that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. For your audience that don't know that.
Right.
In a book, you got limitless time to create every idea, detail you want in the book. You can talk about, yo, he was smoking a cigarette, he plucked the cigarette head against the wall, the ashes and the flare sparked off. You know what I mean?
Visualize it, right.
In the book, right? You can make them visualize that in the book, but in the script, you got to cut it short. It's a motion picture. People just want to see the visuals. They don't want to see you got to show them the cigarette popping off the wall and all that, if that's what you want to do. But
I get it.
You got to limit
the details.
You got to make everything minuscule. You got to compress.
Because they're seeing it anyway.
They're going to see it, but as far as writing the script,
you
got to compress everything. So once he got in my head about the web series thing, I wrote an episode, and I said, yo, man, let's shoot it. And me and my god, bro, you know what I mean? He became executive producer as well as myself. I brought him in, and we put up the bread to start getting this shit popping. And the first episode was a success. You know what I mean? And from there, we just created we created something that wasn't taught. You know what I mean? I wasn't taught how to write scripts. I wasn't taught how to, film and hold a camera and do all this and all that. All that just came second nature. You know what I'm saying? We just created our own lane. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that's how that popped off.
Nah, man, that's good. You know what? And when you start doing, I believe this. Look, I believe that like in the power of positive thinking, I also believe that in karma, and I also believe that once you start doing good in your life, good things start happening, right? Like you said, you got custody. Like I did the same thing. I got custody of my daughter 2 years ago, right? Like doing good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, and good started coming to me. I just got married last month. Like, my life has changed. I got my own little thing going on. Like, I don't, I don't work for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, things just started happening in my life. Look, I'm telling you that when I started doing good, when I really started to like change my life.
That's the universe in unison with you. It's like when people say, God will meet you halfway, but you gotta meet him halfway. God will take you wherever you gotta go, but that's the universe, man. The universe, you can't front on the universe. I mean, the universe, you can't stunt, you can't act like you doing the work. The universe see what you're doing.
Right,
you know
exactly,
I mean?
exactly.
Once the universe, because I'm not religious. I mean, I don't believe in
me neither.
a lot of stuff. So once the universe see you doing what you're supposed to do, it's gonna give you access. It's gonna open up the world for you. It's like you walking in the bank and nobody telling you can't grab all the money and walk out.
Nah, that's right. I always thought that like when you're doing good, like the other day I put up a video and I talked about these kids, right? Like, and if you run up on one of these kids, right? If I explained it, and you run up on them, and you tell them, look at my face, man. You're not about that life.
Right.
You're not. Go in the house. You're not a shooter. You're not none of this. Right. That kid is gonna do whatever he has to do to prove you wrong. Look.
Right.
But if you tell that same child, I don't believe that you can get a college education. I don't believe you can be productive in society. They just gonna take it on the chin. Like
you're not gonna take that energy, that same energy, and apply it to that.
Right, that same energy that they're like, what? All right, now the next day they jump.
I gotta prove to him that I'm gonna get me a college degree.
Right, I'm gonna run up in the store. I'm gonna let these dudes know. Like, you will risk your life. You will risk 50 years in the penitentiary. Like, you will risk your whole entire life to prove somebody that you are tough.
Right.
But why can't you have that same energy when somebody tells you that you can't get your high school diploma, that you can't go on to college, that you can't be positive, that you can't do good things in life, right? They're gonna say, you know what, school ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they'll say that's too much work.
And that's that's a whole other interview, because that has to do with the community.
Now, that's social economics, that's mental health. That's and then think about it, bro. Remember when we were 16, 13, 15, 17, and remember the guys that used to be like, yo, get off the block, man. Get out of here, man. Go to school. Yo, you going to jail. That's all it's sad, right? That
profits.
When I was young, I think people don't understand. People don't understand the power of word. The power of word is so deep that it can start a war and it can prevent a war. Just words.
Yeah.
It can start wars and it can end wars. So when someone tell you at an early age, yo, you're gonna be dead on jail, man.
Mm-hmm.
They already putting something on your life that don't even supposed to be put on your life, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they invested that in you. When you take that and you like, well, shit, I keep hearing it. So that's just the way it's gonna be.
Right.
You know what I mean? Dead or in jail. And that's just the way it's gonna be.
I try to break that cycle of these kids thinking that it's a rite of passage, because that's the way it was. Like, you just like, when you in that life, like, it's just a rite of passage. Oh, I'm gonna go to jail. You know what I'm saying? It's it's cool because the dudes come home from jail and dudes got that shine, and they don't tell the truth. They don't really tell the truth of what happens when that
sometimes, Fred, it ain't even about them telling the truth. It's just, again, role models. That young kid is always going to be a very observant kid that's in the cut doing the Nas joint, looking out the window, observing his environment. You know what I mean? It's always going to be that kid in the cut that you don't see, that's just watching you, watching your whole style, watching your bop. He's taking all that from you. So when you get killed or when you go to jail, he's taking that bop, he's taking that style, the way you talk, the way you dress, he's taking that, he's running with that. Here's the deal though. It's sad because it's hard to get through to a young man's mind with just telling him stuff. You gotta say, all right, listen, I guarantee you, if you go to school, you're gonna become a millionaire. Matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do. Every day before you go to school, come see me. I got $100 for you. It's just an alternative, because if you're not giving them nothing, they don't see nothing in you, how are they gonna want to replicate that? How they going, you know what I'm saying? So they don't understand that. So it's like you got to give them something in return for them to do what you're asking them to do. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Give them an out.
You got to give them an out. You got to give them a means. You got to, you got to give them something. It's something that you got to give them that is going to make them be like, you know what? OG, right, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go, because that's what the real gangsters used to do back in the days when I was coming up. They told us to get off the block. They told us to go to school to, you could be a doctor, you could be a politician. Matter of fact, I'm putting you in school so you can become a politician, because I need you to change these laws, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was. But again, when the world changed and the crack epidemic came and people got addicted and the mentality changed, it was like gangster was if I bust my gun or not. You know what I mean? That's what gangster became. Gangster wasn't no more about, let me take care of my community as a gangster. It became, let me tear up my community as a gangster.
Right. No, and the thing is that a lot of people don't understand is that, like, especially when I see kids and they doing all this crazy stuff, people will be quick to judge those kids, right? But if you knew that kid's backstory, it might be a little different. And that's the thing, because I find it like in this world that, like, there's such a how do I say it without, it's a big gap between the hood and other areas, right? Especially during the crack era, because the crack era was, it was everywhere, but it was the hood, right? And then what happened is the crack came, and then it started breaking up families, not just because people were going to jail, because in certain instances, like, we were talking about
things that transpired from that.
Right, people start using, and now when they start using, this affects the kids, and these kids are seeing this and like, man, fuck this, let me go outside and do what I do. They doing this, you know what I'm saying? So what would you say?
And then, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
And then we're being programmed at the same time through music, through media, through the street. So even if we bring it up to date right now, right? Some of the dopest lyricists and the dopest rappers is, they undeniably dope. But if your message is and I don't want to sound like the old dude, the old grumpy dude.
Right, now you're right though. But this is what's needed. Yeah,
I love music. I love rap. I grew up in it. That's my first love. But at the end of the day, if you become successful off of telling these stories, these braggadocious stories, you sold these many bricks, you killed these many people in every rhyme, you did this, you're influencing a generation because you're lyrically dope, right?
Right.
But at the same time, you're sending your kid to private school. You're doing the best for your child, but that other child that doesn't have that same opportunity, you're sending him to jail and to the grave.
You heard that, people? You heard that, everybody listening? Because I do this as a premiere. So on Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, it goes up and people are live in the chat. So right now, you hear what he's saying, people? Listen, he just dropped a jewel on you guys. Rewind it, get it back. Yeah.
Wow, it's real life, man. And it's sad. But again, like I said, we're being programmed. And that's what programming is all about. When you in your car and you got the radio on and you hear this song 17 times, you don't even like the song the first time you heard it. But by the time you heard it the 18th time, you singing the hook, the chorus.
Right. I'm in love with the cocoa. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? And that becomes a part of, subconsciously, it becomes a part of your everyday. Like, you know what I mean? You just, and it's just, kids are easily programmed. They're like a sponge. And beautiful thing about kids is that, see, with us, people our age and older, we got so much information that it's hard to sit down and you read a book and you memorize the whole paragraph, word for word, verbatim. When you a kid, your mind is not occupied with so much, so you can put all the information. It's like a sponge. So we gotta program them or reprogram them with the right food in order for them to obtain all that they need. Because when you get older, man, it's like they say you can't teach your old dog new tricks, but at the end of the day, man, it's our responsibility. Like what you doing, you're obligated to do this. You know what I mean? This is this is a duty, this is a responsibility, because we destroy things, man. You know what I mean? We destroy our communities, or we
talk about it all the time,
destroying ourselves.
Right.
So we got to kind of like, it's imperative for us to be like, you know what? Even if I don't reach 100 dudes, 100 young brothers, 100 young kids, or even 10, let me reach that one dude that got influence to influence 1 million people.
Right. Yeah. Pac said that. I may not change the world, but something I say may spark the brain of somebody else who will.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Pac, right? But
facts.
The thing about, I want to get back a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I like this conversation we're having because I talk about this type of stuff all the time. Like, let me ask you now, right? Because we talked about the rappers talking all this, because you know, I remember in the 2000s, I remember clearly a report came out and it was like the 2 highest selling CDs or tapes going to jails around the United States were Young Jeezy and Rick Ross, right? Gee, I wonder why. Right now, what I'm saying is, who would you say is more responsible for that, Luck? Would you blame the person spitting that shit, or would you blame the people who can stop that album from coming out? Because the people above them, right? We know, like the real people, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the higher ups.
If they say we're not putting that out, it's not coming out. So do you foresee a bigger problem that if people are letting this type of music even happen in the first place?
That's a good, I mean, it's deep, because again, it's about programming. So the higher ups is about money. They ain't about feelings. They don't care about emotions and feelings. And I was taught that shit earlier when I used to be in court sitting there and I ain't know the language. They sitting up there dictating my next 10 years was what it's going to be. And I'm sitting there like, man, I just can't wait to get back to my cell, to get away from this shit, because I can't deal with this shit. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, you got people that, we got to understand the language. You know what I mean? And what I mean by the language, like, there's a language in law that you got to understand in order to fight your case. You can't go in the courtroom saying, yo, man, I don't feel like that's right. And you might be 100% right, but you're talking about feelings. You're talking about emotions. You got to talk law. That's the only thing they understand is law.
Right.
They understand, 180.50.9 and
right.
I got a right to appear before the grand jury. You telling me I shouldn't go before the grand jury? I got a right to go before the grand jury.
Yeah, people don't know that part. Look,
that's my right.
Don't know.
And that's why a lot of people get railroaded, because here it is, you fighting a case, and your lawyer that's appointed to you, your AT&B or your legal aid or whatever they call him, he's telling you, listen, I don't think you should go before the grand jury because they can use that against you. But really, in all reality, that's the perfect time to say, listen, I wasn't there. I ain't do nothing. You know what I mean? Y'all got the wrong person.
Right to defend yourself. People don't know that.
Yeah, because if you waive your right, then behind your back, they're indicting you on facts that the police said, this is what you did. So that where I'm getting at is,
grand jury is where you can see who's saying what to people.
Exactly. That's where you find out. That's where you find out everything about your case.
You can't get paperwork. A lot of people don't know this part too. When you go to trial, then you can get them grand jury. If you don't go to trial, they don't have to. They're not. Prosecutors are like, you know what? We're not even really.
Right. They're not gonna give you your minutes.
They'll never give you your minutes unless you blow trial.
Right. That's when you get your minutes when you go to trial.
Because a lot of times in the system, and with, like you said, the 18Bs and the legal aids, they have 200 other cases. They don't even know who the hell you are.
They really don't care. They in cahoots with the judge. They know them. They go to dinners and
they go to golf. Yeah,
they the best of friends. But to get back to your question, man, about the higher ups and the artists,
right?
I believe the higher ups is going to do what they're going to do. They running the business. It's business. Ain't no feelings in business. It's business ain't personal. It's about money. It's about capitalism. It's about how we gonna get, how can we give him $1 so we can make $20 off the CD? You understand what I'm saying? It's business. But when the responsibility of the artist is this, you gotta have integrity, man. You gotta have balls, man. You gotta stand on something. And a lot of these guys, man, yeah, they come from poverty. They come from fucked up backgrounds, some of them. Some of them is just really good rappers and they incorporate that life. They fake that life. It ain't really a life that they live. They didn't sell them bricks. They didn't, you know, they moms and their parents wasn't going through nothing. They had both of their parents in the household. They just wanted to go on that block. And when they went on that block, they got slapped with the hammer in the face. And, you know, then they was just like, oh, I took my first hit in the head with the pistol. Now I'm out here. So it is what it is. And they pretend that life. They're not really about that life. That's not what they built for. That's why these guys, when they get put in their first situation, they fold and bend up.
All the time.
You know what I mean? Because that's not what they're about. But I believe that an artist should have integrity. But here's the deal. If I make the music that I want to make, am I going to be a millionaire? Probably not. The music that you like, you doing that because you love the art. This is what you love. A corporate business, you got to make the music that is going to make the money. You know what I mean? Because the machine is going, if you can front good, the machine is going to back you. They're going to give you the cars. They're going to give you the house to look good because it's all about influencing that generation.
Next generation.
It's about dumbing the kids down. The kids is the people that's going to buy our music. The kids is the people that listen word for word what we say. The kids is the people that look at every video and stream everything. The kids. So if you telling the kids some real fly shit, that's what's gonna make the money. You know what I mean? But if you telling them some real Public Enemy shit or some real, you know, conscious, you know, and you can have the best flow, the best delivery, but if it's conscious. I
always say I love Common, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude,
Common is dope. I mean, I don't even, you know? That's labels. We give them conscious rappers and they rappers, man. They good dudes, they artists, they people who know how to put words together. But these labels is made for the corporation to say, let's label it this because this demographic is going to make this much money. Let's label this gangster rap because if we label this gangster rap, we know that it's millions and billions of dollars in this shit. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just real deep, man. But it's really here's the deal. This is how I look at it. We don't bring the guns and we don't bring the coke into the country. But when we get caught for it, we get the most time, right? So that's the same thing with the higher ups. They don't make the music, you know what I mean? But they provide the vehicle for us to, you know what I mean? And it's like when it's deep, man.
I know we could do a different.
It's heavy. It's heavy, man.
No, but it's sad because even the social media, bro, I talk about it all the time. These dudes is on, even on YouTube, these dudes is online, number one, pledging their allegiance to whatever, right? I'm the super this, I'm that. And it's just like, I'm saying to myself, oh my God, like, do you understand that?
Right, we don't do that, man. We don't come from that cloth. Like,
you know, that's why it's just weird for me to see.
Right. We from the old world. This new world is different.
You're right. You 1000% right. Like when I look at Instagram and I see dudes showing the guns, showing their money, I'm just like, yo, they don't really understand that the feds, I tell you this all the time, the feds sit back when Instagram and all this shit came out and people were doing, look what the feds do. Look, instead of being out in the field, they're like this in the office.
Yeah, they don't gotta be in their car taking pictures no more.
I tell people they're not following, they're not doing any of that.
All they gotta do is set up a page with a bad bitch on it.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean?
Tell people, I'm like, yo, yeah,
it's crazy.
That's it. And they're on your page and dudes don't even understand that they're on your page. But if you're putting it out for the world to see, you can't get mad when they come down with them RICO indictments. You know what I'm saying? The people don't understand about them RICO indictments. You know what I'm saying? I know your label's Rackateerin Inc. I'm just saying, so.
Right.
That RICO is serious and these kids.
Racketeering influence corrupt organization.
Say it, you know what I mean? Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? So, and that's what a lot of these dudes are getting caught up in because they're just not, like I said, like you said it perfect, man. You said it perfect. We're from the old world. We're from a world where it's like, wait a minute, what you doing? And the thing is that sometimes I look at some of these young kids and I say to myself, look, if I was that age, who knows? Right? Like, who knows what I would have put up.
We probably would be caught up in it, but you know, we didn't have our social media was going outside. So, you know, going to, you know, like my son, I got a son. My son is he'll be 15 in a few months.
Okay.
Now we doing this virtual school shit. So it's a new world. Like all this shit is just new. They sitting down at a computer going to school.
Right.
You know, as a parent, we got to monitor them, make sure they doing their work and shit like that. But after they do their work, they go upstairs and go in their room and play Fortnite and Madden and all this shit. They don't go outside and play ball and exercise and sweat and, you know what I mean, get tired and shit. Like they just, so it's like the world we live in is so crazy that Instagram, Facebook, Twitter is the new outside. It's like, I got to log on every day to show people that I'm really working, that I'm really doing something. I got to show them. I got to be the flyest dude. I got to show them that I got the hammers and I'll bust my gun. But really, you just impressing a bunch of people that really don't even care about you.
Don't care about you. No,
they don't care. Like, you don't have no message. See, you got a message. There's other people that got platforms that, you know, like I'll be checking out like Wallow, 18 whatever, Wallow 287. Yeah,
267. You know, that's Wallow. I love Wallow.
One of the dudes that, you know, he got a message. He be on this funny shit. You know what I mean? He's clown, bugging out shit, but he be really giving it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, even what you doing, bro, it's like, it's a message. We got to talk about this. This is imperative. That's what I'm saying. This is your duty. You obligated. You gotta, even if it's just one dude, right? You gotta give it to him because he has the potential to go online and influence 1 million other people. And you did your job, even if it was just that one dude.
Right.
So this is the world we live in, man.
Nah, it's the world we live in. And you're right, like you said, because, you know, the reality is I get DMs, I get shit from people all the time. Like, yo, thank you. There's dudes on my page where I've seen certain things on their page. I don't know them from a hole in the wall. But like you said, I'm obligated. I hit them. They'll hit me, yo, Fred, I love you. I'll hit them back. Yo, listen, check this out. That stuff you got on your page, understand what's going to happen. And they'll take it down. Like, so. Right. Influence is a little bit,
and it's not like you trying to be a preacher or nothing. You just telling them,
and that's
telling them OG shit. Yeah, that's real OG shit.
And you know what? I'm not preaching no gangster shit. I'm not. Fred is just me. That's why dudes like when dudes get his shit online. I'm not involved in it.
Right.
Because I don't project that. So you're looking stupid by trying to, you know what I'm saying? By trying to project some gangster shit. But I'm not projecting it. So stop. You know what I mean? Like
you was the coolest white boy in the yard, man.
It's all love, man. It's all love. You know, I tell people all the time, I was just me, man. That's it. That's just
that's a fact, man. That's what we missing. Like, you don't gotta portray a role to be accepted, to be respected. Just be you, man. It's people that's gonna love you like for who you is, man. Ain't no front. It's who I am. Right. And you know, this me, man.
It's me, man. Yo, listen, man. Listen, what we're gonna do right now is telling me, I'm gonna put it down there, but let them know your YouTube channel, your Instagram. Let them know what you got going on with this web series. What is it gonna be every week? When are we gonna drop this? Talk to me.
All right, well, right now, man, I'm in the process of reshooting The Love and War. I just wanted to put something up because, you know, what I do is, man, I get talent that's not really out there yet. They might be like talented musicians or whatever they do. I try to bring them along my platform, and what we do is we in partnership kind of like bring our fan bases together. So if they do music and I know they talented, I want them on my show as an actor or as whatever. They might not went to school for acting, but I see something in them. Gotcha. And it's just opportunity, man. I'm just trying to play my part. I'm just trying to, even if I don't become a major successful director, or I just want somebody that, and it's a couple of people I work with that got motion pictures, you know what I mean, that's doing their thing right now. And you know, I'm proud of that because I'm just like, damn, I saw that in them.
You know, I mean, not to interrupt you, bro, but I don't care if you blow up or become Spike Lee.
Right.
With success. Remember,
no, that's a fact, because we got to define our own success.
Because the reality is, coming from where you coming from, coming from what you've been through, you ain't maybe even not supposed to be here. And I don't mean it like that. You know what I'm saying?
I dig, I understand.
Whether it be where, behind the wall or, getting hit up 4 times, I'm sure one of those bullets, maybe the doctor told you, a quarter inch more of this, a quarter inch.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
You wouldn't be here having this interview with me. So to me, bro, I don't care if you become Spike Lee or not, you a success, man. You a success.
No doubt. And I appreciate that because that's one of my mottos, man. We got to define our own success. Sometimes success is not the Bentley and the mansion. Sometimes success is just completing your goal that you set out to complete, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you started with an idea, if you created an idea, if there wasn't no idea and you created it and you executed it and you did everything you possibly could do with that idea, man, that's success, man.
It's very much success. Let me ask you real quick, because I'm people probably gonna ask this. How are you? How was the rehab? How did everything come with that? And how are you doing now?
All right. Well, I got out the hospital in 2009. I was in there. I went in there. I was in there for 18 months in the rehab joint. Right. And like I said, it was just I'm not gonna get long-winded, but it was just one of those real. I did 10 years when we met. I was doing 10 years.
Right.
That 18 months felt like I did 25 years. You know what I mean? Because I went in there and couldn't move from waist down. When I left the hospital on crutches. I moved to Connecticut and I started walking with a cane. So I'm not completely, I don't got my movement how I want it. I don't got my old bop, but
yeah, you got a little bop. You got a little bop with the cane.
I walk, I drive, I walk. You know what I mean?
That's a success, bro. That's a success.
Yeah, so I'm here, man.
You're never gonna walk again, man. Because you persevered and said, I'm not, I'm not. This is
That's why I said, man, the power of words and the power of thought is powerful, man.
Powerful.
It's like I say, I respect everybody and what they believe in, you know what I mean? But I believe in me. So that's what I had to do. I had to tap into me. And I had to say to myself, like, yo, they said you're not gonna walk again, boss. Like, you going for that? You going for that, Luck?
Right.
You know I'm saying? Because check it. This
how with that enthusiasm, like now.
This is how they did it. They said when I came into the hospital, I got off the ambulance. Now this is the rehabilitation center. A doctor or whoever was said, listen, I got this wheelchair for you, and I got this wheelchair for you. The motorized wheelchair, you could just go like this with your finger and move around and go wherever you want. Or I got the one where you got to do this. I said, give me the one where I got to do this. You know what I mean? Because I don't want it. I don't want the joint that's gonna make me lazy and just get me where I gotta be real fast. I want to work for, like, I'm one of those dudes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was just the start of that. And like I said, I left the hospital on crutches, man. And they saluted me because I put out a DVD in there. I did a documentary in there of me working out, and it was just inspirational, man. You know what I'm saying? And I feel blessed, King. I feel blessed because, like you said, man, it is success. But at the same time, man, you really, I think as people, as individuals, man, and this is for the kids and whoever, I think we really need, it's imperative that it's good when people support us. It's good when other people believe in us, but we got to convince ourselves to believe in us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. But sometimes not to get along with it, but again, coming from certain environments, it's hard to see that. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to really.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Until it's too late. You know what I mean? Like we've all had those coming to whatever moments. You know what I mean? I remember sitting in the box and I washed my face and looked in the mirror and I went from, because I used to say why me, right, all the time, right? I used to say the why me, like why is this? Until I changed it when I looked in that mirror and I said, man, why not me, right?
Why not me?
Not me, because you know what? I know I already knew I had a gift to do this because I used to do the program.
Right. I remember that.
And all that shit. So I already had a gift for speaking. And I used to say to myself, like, why the fuck I keep getting in trouble? Like, what's wrong with me? Like, it's time, like, just forget playing the victim.
Right.
Forget Fred. Stop victimizing yourself and say to yourself, why me? Why not me? And that's when my mentality started to change. You know what I mean? And things started to process for me, and I said, oh man, you know what, I can't, this, like you said, like it's a jungle in there, and I started to realize like I'm not like some of these dudes is different. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not what I acclimated myself and I did what I had to do.
Right.
Like, I always knew that this fucking life ain't for me, man.
It's crazy. I remember I learned so many things, right, in prison that helps me today. I learned, like, even with this quarantine shit, we the original quarantine kings. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Lockdown. This is no lockdown, bro.
This is nothing. But I learned a lot of valuable lessons. And one lesson that I learned was, I remember I was on the company one day, I was on the tier. And I don't know how I was on the tier by myself, but I was leaving the tier. And there was another guy coming on the tier. And as I'm approaching him and we getting closer, you know, I'm getting ready to move out his way. He getting ready to move out my way so he could get past. And he said, yo, you know a guy named, you know somebody named Sly? Sly was like my neighbor, like a couple of, you know, I was like, nah, I don't know him. And I kept it moving, right? Later on that day, we in the mess hall. I see Sly and the dude together in the line. So they call me, yo, come here. So I come to them where they at in line. We in the mess hall. And Sly was like an OG to me. You know what I'm saying? Because when I came to Clinton, he was just, he the guy who got me on the court. You know what I mean? He vouched for me to get on the court. So
Sly,
Big Sly with the dreads. Yeah,
the dreads. That's my
Marcy. I think he's from Marcy.
Yeah, I think he home too. I think got a little restaurant or something. John was telling me he home, I think.
Yeah, man. Yo, if you get his math, link me to him, man. I haven't seen him.
I'll talk to John. You know John, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt. And send John my love too. Send John my love.
Yeah, that's my boy.
But yeah, so I'm in the back of the line and I'm talking to him. They was like, yo, that was real honorable what you did. He was like, yo, this is my man from my hood. You know what I mean? It's my childhood friend, but he was like, yo, you did the right thing. You won't never pose to tell. I could have been his enemy coming to kill him. Right. So it was like, that was just like teaching me like certain things I was learning, like how you really got to move. And to go back to what you were saying, this is why kids is getting killed. This is why kids got ops and they got beef and they slipping and they know they got drama and they slipping because it's little rules, man, that if you pay attention, it's just keep your mouth shut and just observe, man. You know what I mean? Everything ain't, just because you know that man's cell is, that he sleep right there, that don't mean, oh yeah, he in 15 cell. You might have got him killed. Now that's on you.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just little shit like that. But I'm just saying, like, it's a bigger picture, but it is. You know, I know we on this.
Nah, it's all love. Listen, I think what I like on piggyback on what you're saying, I think what I've learned from the penitentiary, man, is respect, right? You respect me.
Definitely.
That's how it goes. Sometimes, sometimes when, I see certain things or people are not respect, if I respect you, you respect me. Like, that's the biggest thing I learned in the penitentiary. And sometimes even when I've come home, it's gotten me into a little things, maybe with somebody, like even, I always say this all the time, I open the door for somebody and you don't say thank you, or little things, it's like, whoa, what the fuck? Right. Little things like that personally, because I've seen little things like that go from a little thing like that to motherfucker getting a knife in his neck.
Yeah, just me and you facing each other right now. We at the table, we don't know each other, but I gotta hit the table before I turn my back on you. Mm-hmm. That's just a sign of respect, man.
Well, I did the thing on prison rules. I talked about that. I talked about, like, motherfuckers don't believe me in that. I'm like, yo, if your man call you behind you, you can't just turn around. You gotta be like, excuse me, call yourself, everything, okay?
That's a fact.
You turn around, you come back, say thank you, boom. Because it's respect. It's a stupid.
And your word is everything, because it might be little bullshit. It might be simple shit. Yo, you got the Source magazine, you got some short eyes. Yo, bring them to the yard. I come to the yard. You don't come to the yard. You broke your word. That's all you got in there. You don't got the Bentley. You don't got the mansion. You just got your word. So you couldn't bring me that one book that I needed. So now that might cause us not to be friends no more, because your word ain't good, boss. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
I seen it. Little things. I seen a 25 cent honey bun go from this to that quick.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? it's just a matter of respect. Like you said, you know, if you say something, you got to do it. You know what I mean? You have to stand on your principles. And I'm not saying that it's all wrong, but some of those philosophies I stand with today, and it's made me a better person. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because I respect people. I don't disrespect nobody.
Right.
And I try to carry myself in a certain way. I try to stay away from the negativity. That's another big thing, right? Like that we learned in there.
Right.
Like we the type of people that we can see a motherfucker walking past and know if it's weird, but if he good or not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Is he good?
Yo, I learned this, boss. I learned.
You become a great judge of character in prison. I learned a lot.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I even learned that. I learned this in prison. You walking, you bump me, I might be the person that got to say, excuse me. You know what I mean? Just because I got to think for you. You know what I mean? I know how far I'm willing to go.
Right, because this could go left quick.
Yeah, I know how far I'm willing to go, but also I know that I'm getting ready to go to the board, or I got these visits or these trailers coming up. I got to think for you. So when you bump into me, I got to be the one that say, excuse me. You might think I'm soft and I'm pussy because I said excuse me, but now I'm thinking for you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right now you're thinking for me, because in case y'all don't know, Luck is like 6'4". You know what I'm saying?
I'm 6'2", man.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, man, you know, the rules, and you know, and we stand by those principles today. That's what makes us kind of the men that we are. That's why we're not going to let our kids, you know, stray. Not saying nothing can't happen, but it's hard when you're in their life, when you're in their
Right. We're gonna do our best to make it right for them.
That's a fact, man. So let everybody know. Are you gonna be as the you know the next web series? Are you gonna be dropping them like every week at a certain time, or you just drop?
Yeah. So the law joint, we did a pilot. I just wanted to see how it would look. It was a test run, but I put it up because a lot of the people that worked on it, again, they're not really actors and things of that nature. So I just wanted them to see their work. And it's getting great reviews. It's dope. So we're gonna refilm. We're gonna start shooting again soon. Nice. I think it's about to open up in a minute, because that was the reason why we stopped, because when we started filming, that's when the world shut down. Gotcha. So we're gonna reshoot. We're gonna do law. We're gonna give it a better look. Okay. And you know, so that'll probably be bi-weekly that we drop every episode. But you can go on YouTube and look at the old web series, Mr. Making It Surviving Through Extreme Reality. And that's like a 9-episode season 1. And I got Mr. the Movie on Amazon Video Prime. So you could just check that out, MISTER, or you could just put in Todd Lucky Johnson, and that should come up on Google. Yeah.
Well, if you put your name in Amazon, it comes up. If you had Amazon back then, and where people are self-publishing stuff now, it would probably be a little different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now they're doing for you.
If you put Todd Lucky Johnson in Amazon, I haven't tried it yet, but my books in the movie will probably come up. But
I think you have to bio there too.
Yeah, definitely. And I know that if you
Google people, man.
I'm
gonna put all the links down. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put them all down there, so when they press the description, they're just gonna go right to your page.
Definitely.
The Amazon, the books, the Rackateerin. So let them know. So what is your YouTube channel?
My YouTube is Rackateerin Films channel, RACKATEERIN Films with a Z channel. My Instagram is Luck Billz with a Z, LUCKBILLZ286. And I also got an Instagram business page, Rackateerin Inc. That's RACKATEERIN. What's the underscore INK?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it all in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put it all in the description. So, you know, we just vibing right now, because again, it's right there. Everyone could go on there. Everyone could go see. I want you guys right now, man, go subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Nothing's coming out your credit card, your bank account. Just go to my man's page, click the subscribe, and that's it, man. You know, let's get him some support. He's doing so much positive, man. You guys know how I preach that positivity, man. So we need to support the people who are trying to do good with their life, who've done well with their life, and, you know, who've lived that life before. You know what I mean? So I'm all about that. You know, I got mad love for you, Luck. I appreciate you stopping by. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I love to chop it up with you again, because I know the people down there.
Thanks for having me, bro. Thanks for having me, man. Likewise, man. It's like it's a conversation. It ain't even an interview. it's just us linking up. Like it's overdue, really. Like
it's
when I saw you, you know what I mean, on you know, on the social media things, I was like, all right, I remember son. You know, cool dude, like, you know what I mean? And
it's all love, man.
It's refreshing to see that, because I've been out here for 20 and probably like you, been out here for all these years. And it's like when I see people from my past still looking good, still doing what they do, that's refreshing. That's like, all right, even though we was in there probably because we did some bad things, we older now. Right. And that's another thing. These young kids got to understand, like, one day you're going to get old. Hopefully, you know what I mean? Hopefully you make it that long to get old. But when you get old, you're not going to think, I used to wear my pants hanging off my ass. That shit ain't cool to me no more.
Right.
It's just not cool. When I see my son do it and I'm checking him, I'm not telling him, yo, that's some gay shit. I'm not telling him none of that. Yo, listen, pull your pants up, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just.
You know, I'll be like, yeah, because where I come from, you don't want to know what that means. You know?
That's just, it's wild style shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yo, Fred, man, I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for having me on your show. I wish you much success. Keep doing your thing. Stay diligent, stay persistent. And like I said, man, the universe is gonna work with you, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And if you need any Brad Pitt-ish actors, you holler at me. Nah,
no doubt.
I did messing with you. Yo, Luck, listen, man, everybody go subscribe to my boy's channel. Do it. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit his Instagram, follow him. I'm going to put the links in the description. We're going to end this right now, but you guys already know the motto. Experience is the greatest teacher, but somebody else's experience could be just as valuable if you pay attention and listen. And on that note, people, I love everybody in the chat. Appreciate you guys stopping by. On that note, people, Fred White.
Salute.
Salute, Luck. Salute.